Reba McEntire's first recording deal was signed 50 years ago, and some of her closest friends joined her in commemorating the milestone. The Voice's Michael Bublé and Melissa Peterman, McEntire's real-life best friend and co-star on Happy's Place, stopped by to surprise the Queen of Country with some kind words prior to her acceptance speech on November 10, when she was honored for that remarkable milestone at the 2025 Paley Honors Fall Gala. In front of the sold-out audience, Peterman and Bublé lavished McEntire with praise, according to the music universe. "The best thing Reba ever told me was, 'Don't you ever belittle the gifts that God gave you,'" Peterman said. "It's the type of knowledge she imparts with such ease. She inspires others simply by being herself." Speaking candidly, Bublé gushed about his fellow Voice Season 28 coach. "Miss Reba, what an honor to be here," he replied. "People we meet often let us down, but you are the real deal. Not only are you the best artist in the world, but you also execute it so gracefully." The Canadian crooner celebrated the event on Instagram, and in typical Bublé manner, the celebrity took the time to properly acknowledge McEntire's fiancée, Rex Lynn. "My favorite moment of the night. From where I was sitting, I could see Rex Lynn 13 watching Reba as she made her acceptance speech," he said in the caption. "Rex was the biggest fan in the room, and you should always be a fan of the person you love. What a lovely way to honor someone who is genuinely unique, and to remember love and affection." In recent weeks, Bublé has made a special effort to help his buddies. The 50-year-old father of four not only surprised the Queen of Country, but he also honored fellow Voice alum Adam Levine by going to a Maroon 5 show in November. "Went to see Maroon 5 tear it up in Nashville last night. Unreal show." On November 3, Bublé captioned an Instagram photo. "You really nailed it. Adam Levine and the entire band was on fire. I'm proud of you, brother. You sing the shat out of them all, hit after hit." With her distinctive voice, fiery humor, and captivating stage presence, Reba McEntire has been lighting up stages for decades. She is accustomed to surprises, including remarkable duet partners, last-minute changes to the script, and surprising audience responses. Even she, however, was unprepared for what transpired on a warm Friday night in Nashville, a night that everyone fortunate enough to witness would soon label as incredible. Because out of complete secrecy, Michael Bublé showed up to crash her show with a naughty gleam in those unmistakable eyes and a smile as flawless as his jazz phrasing. Furthermore, he didn't only stop by to greet you. He was there to perform. The resulting moment was so electrifying that admirers are still trying to convince themselves it wasn't a dream. A rare and beautiful melding of two vocal worlds, country nobility and crooner appeal. An already special night, the occasion was a party for Reba's popular comedy series Happy's Place's cast and crew. As a rigorous stretch of production came to a conclusion, the producers decided it was time for a large celebration, complete with music, laughter, and a few heartfelt toasts. There was no better host than Reba herself, of course. When Reba came, her hair was done in beautiful curls that framed an unstoppable smile, and she was wearing a stunning midnight blue jacket that shimmered under the lights. Over the years, she had performed on other industry nights, but this one was particularly charming. She was at ease, energized, surrounded by her loved ones. Her own crew gave her a standing ovation when she opened the evening with a few classics, including Fancy, I'm a Survivor, and a stripped-down acoustic version of Somebody. She jokingly said into the microphone, "It's the cowboy boots. They are more energetic than I am." The laughing erupted in the room. Nobody was aware that a second surprise was going to enter the room. Literally. The unidentified visitor shows up, the backstage door cracked open, while Reba was answering light-hearted song requests and telling behind-the-scenes tales. A stagehand crept inside and spoke to the audio engineers in a desperate whisper. Security was immediately strengthened, doors were shut, and phones were tucked away. Whatever was going on, it was significant enough that the organizers wished to keep it under wraps. Then Melissa Peterman softly mouthed, "Ah, Mimi," and stuck her head out from the wings like an inquisitive cat. Reba's eyebrows went up. "What's happening over there? Are you guys releasing a raccoon once more?" And nope. Melissa gave a little squeak. "But I'm going to pass out. Haven't met you yet. A deep, velvety baritone voice said as the gathering mumbled in uncertainty a few moments later. The crowd let out a gasp. Reba stopped. Then Michael Bublé, wearing a sleek black suit and with his hands in his pockets, as if he had just walked in from a jazz lounge across the street, left. The roof was almost blown off by the cheers. Reba's response. Unadulterated happiness. Reba gave him the kind of shoulder-bouncing chuckle that comes when you see a deer caught in headlights. She hurried over and gave him a firm embrace. She pulled back just enough to give him a friendly whack on the arm and yelled, "Michael Bublé, what are you doing here?" He smiled. "There was a party, I heard. And Reba is always present at parties." The crowd melted. Reba touched her hips with her hands. "You are a cunning little crooner." Michael made a theatrical bow. "Queen McEntire, at your service." The strategy. A covert months ahead, producer Kevin Abbott seized the mic once the cheers subsided. He declared, "This surprise was planned back in July." I quote Michael when he says, "I want in if Reba's doing something special." Michael held up a finger, but the crowd exploded. He added, "I heard there would be pie, too, to be fair." Reba started giggling. "There's a peekin' in the rear." The unplanned duet that nobody anticipated. Michael took the microphone. "I am aware that this is your night, Reba. However, would you be so kind as to join me in a little song?" Reba arched her brows doubtfully. "Are you aware of the amount of country twang your melody line is going to get?" He gave a wink. "A little twang is manageable for me." They began a duet rendition of everything after exchanging brief words and dragging a piano stool onto the stage. However, there was a twist. Michael managed the silky crooning. Reba grabbed the harmonies and gave it a light-hearted country twist, and they sounded surprisingly good together. The audience wavered. Despite the no recording directive, some people secretly recorded. A lot of people simply stood in wonder. Then the second moment arrived. Michael nodded and moved the key a little. Reba immediately recognized the cue. The two of them were suddenly performing her 1990 smash song "You Lie." But Michael was introducing subtle jazz phrasing in the background, giving the timeless song a sultry, eerie feel. It was so iconic that it gave me chills. The room roared when they were done. "I think we just invented country jazz fusion," Michael said, leaning forward and whispering too loudly. Reba laughed. "Avoid tempting me. I may even videotape it." People were standing up because the crowd was too crowded. Some were dabbing at their tears. Melissa Peterman was using a napkin to fan herself dramatically. Michael wasn't finished yet. He gestured to the proudly sitting Rex Lynn toward the front. "Your fiancée is a formidable woman, sir." Rex smiled. "I was aware of that beforehand." Reba grinned. "Bublé, stop playing around with my man." Michael covered his heart with his hand. "I'd never take Rex. My collection of cowboy boots is insufficient." Michael's sincere address. When the laughter subsided, Michael's tone became more solemn. He declared, "Joke aside, Reba has inspired so many of us, across decades and genres. She is the epitome of kindness, elegance, and unadulterated storytelling." He hesitated. "And you take that chance when you get to surprise someone who has contributed so much to the world." Reba blinked, obviously suppressing her feelings. Her tone was kind but clearly moved as she taunted, "Now don't go making me cry on my own appreciation night." Reba gives love back, squeezing Michael's hand. Reba accepted it. "You know," she remarked quietly, "I remember thinking, now there's a man who sings with his whole heart," the first time I ever saw Michael perform live. And tonight only served to confirm it once more. Michael's head was down. "I'm going to cry now because of you." "Well," she said, "you're worthy." An unscripted magical evening. The remainder of the evening became a blur of euphoria. Taking pictures, making jokes, and completely devouring a plate of BBQ sliders with Rex Lynn, Michael stayed to socialize. "Approved in Canada," he said. Cast and crew told Reba how amazing the night was, and she was visibly glowing for a good 20 minutes. Michael even persuaded her to sing a gentle, acoustic rendition of Home as a final spontaneous song. This time, however, Reba led the way while he provided side harmony. It was personal, unexpected, and completely enchanted. Behind the scenes, Michael's methods for pulling off the surprise Melissa later gave the inside scoop. They kept Reba completely in the dark, so she had no idea. Arriving in an unremarkable vehicle, Michael entered through a side door while wearing a hoodie. He even warmed up backstage, hiding behind a curtain and doing so in silence. Melissa stated, "We're talking full ninja mode. This is the first time I've ever seen a crooner stealth crawl. It was magnificent. I was born ready," deadpanned Michael, overhearing. Even though it was a private event, the fans' reaction social media was ablaze with rumors as soon as the night was over. A couple of blurry clips were leaked. Comments began to pour in. "Reba and Michael, that is the collaboration we were unaware we needed. Jazz plus country equals perfection. We'll riot if you don't release the duet." The following morning, Reba's crew was forced to release a statement. Yes, Michael surprised Reba. It was amazing, indeed. There will be more. The fans went crazy. Reba's last remark of the evening. Reba responded to it the following day by sharing a picture of herself and Michael giggling on stage. "I'm still grinning about last night," she wrote as her caption. "I'm grateful to Michael Bubble for making it a memorable experience. My heart is overflowing." Michael said, "Anytime, Queen." In summary, when great artists meet, magic occurs. There are unexpected appearances. And then there are times like this. Times that seem predestined, like two famous voices coming together not only for a show, but also for a treasured memory. Michael Bublé was not merely there to sing. He was there to honor Reba, in her honor, to spend a night together that was brimming with happiness, creativity, and sincere love. And Reba returned the favor by giving him what she provides to everyone in her vicinity. It came as more than a shock. It served as a reminder to everyone in attendance of how music and its fans can produce unforgettable evenings.